What is good? It's your boy SlimmTrader back at it again with another weekend analysis. Well, technically it's not even the weekend no more. I'm giving this content to you guys late. It is 1:30 in the morning. So it's technically Monday. So the weekend is over. The market is moving. But we're still going to do this analysis, okay? So we have a few pairs we're going to go over, the usual suspects. We're going to start with USDJPY, and we're going to go to GBPUSD, and GBPJPY, GBPAUD, and maybe EuroJPY. We'll see. And then also this week later on, I'll probably have another video for you guys, just giving a yearly outlook. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that as well. Any other content that you may want, drop it in the comment box, and I'll be willing to go ahead and make a video of those as well. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, help your boy out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no big name. I can be. Eventually I will probably, but it's only going to be because of you guys. But anyways, I've talked long enough in the intro. Let's get to it because only got 20 minutes. So I'll make it short and sweet for you guys. USDJPY. First of all, these pairs this last week, I mean, it went kind of crazy. They actually, most of them moved in a direction that I wasn't even really expecting, to be honest. But that's the whole thing about the market. You just got to read and react to the market. The market does whatever it wants. It's never always going to be 100% the way that you intend it to go. And you can't be married to a certain bias or a certain trade. You have to let it go, especially if you don't see it going your way. You can't, this market, you cannot be stubborn and stuck in your ways and just be like, no, it's going to turn around. Nah, play it. And already turned around and it's going the way it decided to go. You just need to hop on that ride too before you miss it or you lose all your money. So USDJPY was one of those pairs. I thought 140 would hit, which I mean, it last week it came down to close to 140, but that's the thing. The yellow bar, I was always preaching about it coming down, hitting the yellow bar because it did reject here on this green bar, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, at least 140 is getting hit. It didn't do that. It made a double bottom and then it shot up. It said forget that. And like I said, this green bar, this green trend line is something like I've already explained this move right here alone. I'm not even talking about this whole trend move that started with this black line. I'm just talking about this green. That's a big move, and it tied the last high. You got to put some respect on it. So price pretty much, I mean, it ducked under it, but it came back up. It peeked its head back up. It ended the week pretty much at the red bar, but it peaked past that. What it did was it broke this last lower high too. Not only did it break this counter trend, which I've been preaching as a counter trend, it broke it. And it broke this last high. So what do I see for USDJPY? Back on up, moving on up. I hope I ain't gotta pay no, oops. I hope I don't have to pay no royalties for singing that song. But USDJPY moving on up. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna hide this trend line because right now it's just one too many trend lines or lines on the chart. Because I know a lot of people are probably like, man, his stuff is kind of messy. I don't think so. I'm like an organized mess type person. Like it might look messy, but it's organized because I know where everything is at and I know what everything is intended to do. I ain't touched nothing. I ain't moved nothing. You see how price reacted to all these levels. Come on. It stopped right. It wicked right at that orange line and then came down and now it's dipping below the red. So what I see, price possibly retracing and then coming up and making a new high. It could possibly see 150 again, and I wouldn't be surprised if it I wouldn't be surprised if it does that. I really won't. I mean, because we already broke this little counter trend, and usually I don't know why it's red, but it's all good. Um, Usually when a trend gets broken like that, it starts um, price price starts equaling these last um, lower highs that were made. So that's what we could be seeing here. It's still not out of the woods yet for it to continue to go down. We still have, I'm looking at the 3 day. Let's look at the daily real quick. The daily, uh, Friday price ended in this nice massive doji. So today we already starting off bearish. Definitely, I think it would definitely continue the bearish move. Um, but I think it would just possibly be a retracement. We're close to seeing the moving average cross over on the daily as well. The blue getting back over above the red. And you can see how this moving average just kind of bounced right off of this temporary support that I had, and now it's moving up. And also the trend line, if you want to say that as well, how the moving average is bouncing off of that. So it kind of gives you the indication that it's going to go up, but I do think it's a retracement first that's going to happen, and then ultimately start pushing up again. But back to the 3 day, um, price still below the moving average, and it's wicking way below this red bar. So that's pretty much why I feel like it's still not out of the woods yet on it to become. It's still not out of the woods yet to continue its bearish move to the downside. 140 is still actually, if it even gets to 140, it's going lower. It really is. So if price wants to continue down, then we can definitely see it passing 140. I did get rid of that area in between these two lines. I can put it back up because it could still possibly be in play. This week we actually have CPI, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we have CPI this week, so price could possibly be moving a lot. So I'll go ahead and put this line back up and we can monitor where price may possibly hit this week. As of right now, we are in a retracement or a continuation to the downside. So it's just another read and react game. We have this temporary trend line along with the green trend. It's just part of another confluence, but price has to come back up above the red bar and make a support in order for me to believe that it's really out of the clear and ready to get back up to the 150. So USDJPY right now still going down, but it has the momentum to continue back up. So the next pair we got is GBPUSD. And GBPUSD, it's just been consolidating in this area between the 126 and 128 for the most part. But I'm still bullish on GBPUSD. It looks like it's already trying to make that next bullish leg to where it can possibly break this gray bar. I've been waiting for it to happen, still hasn't done it. This past Friday, NFP came and price dipped all the way down here, and then it just shot right up and ended the week all the way at this gray bar. So well, it didn't end there, but it shot up there. So I feel like it wants to pass that. It really does. I'm bullish on GBP USD. I still think it's going to get to 128.500. It's just it's just doing this big consolidation right now. But everything, all signs are pointing towards to the upside. We have this trend line. It pretty much made a double bottom. It's also using the support, the moving average. If we decide we want to hide the candlesticks, we can look at the moving average clearly, still playing above the blue bar, bouncing off the trend line. I'm liking it so far. It won't be until price decides to break below this trend line, break below the blue bar, and start making lower highs and lower lows for me to believe that, okay, we're going down. But 28,500 is still the target for GBPUSD. Let's look at it on the daily. Not too much. The last 3 days was bullish. Had a big indecision candle between our orange line and our gray bar, but still moving on to the upside, still making higher highs and higher lows. So GBP USD bullish. What we have next, GBP JPY. GBP JPY already starting off with a tweezer top for the week. But today, I mean, the Monday candles just kind of starting. So Sundays slash Monday, early Monday around this time, actually London session is about to open. So we can definitely see some movements this morning. But what I was going to say is price closed right below the yellow bar, and now it's continuing today the downward move. Right now, if you pause time right now, you have a tweezer top. And I see a lot of real estate down here that needs to be covered for GBPJPY. So we're either looking at a retracement down to at least 182,500, or we can continue this downward movement all the way to where I thought last week we would be hitting 176, but that didn't happen. GBPJPY had other plans, but it's looking like it's ready to get back up to the 188 level now, because I wasn't too confident in GBPJPY being bullish unless it passed this orange bar, and it did very strongly too. It was two strong Maribosa bullish candles, and then this last candle from Friday, it was kind of like halted because of this. I feel like this yellow bar is a tough key level, and it's gonna take a little bit more for it to a little bit more bias for it to be broken. So I can see GBP JPY retracing a little bit, and then eventually possibly, I would say, retracing to 182,500, between 182,500 and 182, and then going ahead and making a new high. But look at this. If you look at the 6 hour, you see price doji. It could not pass this yellow bar whatsoever. You can see the buyer exhaustion plain as day. So we gotta go, it's gotta go lower to get some more buyers if it wants to do that. But I definitely can see price getting down to around this area. And then from there, maybe what we did do is pass this counter trend line. So we possibly are going to retest this counter trend line so we can see price head on down around this area, and then possibly pushing up to make a new high. So if we put the fib from the low to the high, we can see clear as day price can get down to the 50.61.8 range on the fib, even the 78.6, because that was a temporary support level that I did draw that's on here. So all those levels are in play. All you have to do is sit and wait. If you're not taking a sell now, sit and wait, and wait till you see some type of bullish momentum back to the upside on one of those levels, and it's a nice trade to take as a buy. But right now is a good time, at least for that, I feel could be a good trade for a short sale. But GBPJPY is still kind of in this range, just like with GBPUSD. It's kind of like a consolidation range, to be honest, between this yellow bar and this blue bar. Price just been playing around. It hasn't decided exactly what it wants to do. I thought this double top right here was enough confluence for me to think that it still wanted to go down because we had this downtrend and it couldn't break it as well. And if we had put the fib from the high to the low, we would easily see that price is getting the 27 extension is right at the 76 level. We're still playing we're still playing within that too. So that's still fair game, price going down to 176. As far as news, we had the GDP news coming out on the 12th of January, which is important, gross domestic product. If you don't know what that is, it's basically the P&L of that country, if they're in the positive or if they're in the negative. This is one of the top important news to even to one of the top important information that you want to look for in a country, in a currency, the economy. This is definitely something that you want to look into. But anyways, GBPJPY, that's my sentiment. I can see it going down some more. And then around this area, I want to see what it wants to do. If it wants to continue down, we can see 176. But if it wants to make some type of bullish structure, momentum, impulse move, we can see 188. Okay. Next, we have GBPAUD. GBPAUD did exactly what I felt like it was going to do. From this green bar trend line, it did come up to this gray bar and it is currently retesting it. Now from here, I'm honestly not too sure what it wants to do. And this is where we're gonna have to read and react to the market because like I said, this is a trend line that you have to reckon with because it was all the way back in 2013 that this trend line was made and we're still bouncing off of it. We're still respecting it throughout the years. And right now we just saw this price go down and then the bearish candles got smaller and smaller and smaller and then now you see the bulls come in and bring price back up to where it was previously consolidating. You remember this area right here I was talking about? Sorry about that. I don't really have anything to highlight it at the moment, but this whole area right here was consolidation and we broke it. We broke to the downside. We retested this whole trend line and now we're shooting right back up immediately. So I want to see what price wants to do right here on this gray bar. If it wants to give some type of rejection, then we can go for a sell. A lot of people are looking at it as a sell, but I don't think so. I really think that GBPAUD can fool a lot of people and head to the upside, but it's still unknown. But I have a bullish sentiment on GBPAUD at the moment. It won't be until if price wants to head back down to this 186 area and break below, that's when I would think that okay, we are definitely coming down to this gray bar and then push up. But there's there's no reason for GBP AUD to go down that far if it's moving like this right now. So not really a time to trade GBP AUD at this very moment because we want to see what it does. But I'm bullish. I am bullish. We got the moving average. Look how it bounced right off that trend line, right in the midline of the trend line. And then it's about to cross over now. So, and that's on the daily. So that's significant. That gives me another reason to believe that it does want to come back to this consolidation zone and burst through it and start making a new high. But that sounds like that's something that may happen not this week, but possibly next week. Australia does have news. We have the balance of trade on the 10th of January. So that's also some important news. But I guess I went over my time because I got 20 seconds left. I thought we was going to get to Euro JPY. Don't have time for that, but it looked like it's moving a little bit. I don't know. Tune in next time because my time is out. Love you guys. Take it easy.